Hi everyone, this is from No Army Can Stop an Idea, and the decapitations continue. So here it says, police chief takes a boy's pet chicken, beats it to death with shovel, then decapitates it. Okay, was that really necessary to, it's already dead, and then he has to decapitate it? And I don't know if you know this, but chickens can be pets, and they will actually make a purring sound like a cat when they're sitting on your lap and they're happy and relaxed. Isn't that amazing? So look at this little boy. He loves his pet chicken. It's from September 2nd, and this is the key word: decapitate. Alright, just like the Noahide laws, the punishment for idolatry, if you believe in Jesus Christ, is decapitation. And the Muslims, you know, strike their necks and chop heads off. So they're really pounding it in, you know, with the animals and other people. Alright, let's see. This says a mother has filed a formal complaint against a Minnesota police department after her 5-year-old son's pet chicken was decapitated by the chief. The chief of police, what is he doing? Atwater Police Chief Trevor Berger said he killed the chicken on August 16th because it violated the city's ordinance that prohibits fowls, the West Central Tribune reported. Oh, this world is so ridiculous now. Though Ashley Turnbull admits she had received warnings at least a week in advance about the ordinance, she said there was no reason to beat her son's chicken to death with a shovel before decapitating it. Turnbull said the chicken had been a birthday gift for her son, Phoenix. Oh no, and her son's name is Phoenix. The chicken was like a puppy dog to my son, Turnbull told the publication. You wouldn't do that to a puppy. Yes, they would. Berger said he arrived at the home and chased the chicken in a nearby yard for 10 to 15 minutes before deciding to stop it with a shovel. Oh my gosh, this is insanity, isn't it? Can you imagine the police chief running around the yard for 10 to 15 minutes before deciding to stop it with a shovel? People have gone absolutely mad. The police chief said he didn't want to dispatch the chicken with a gun because children were playing nearby. So did the children watch him chase it and smash it with a hammer and then chop its head off? He also claimed he didn't realize the chicken's head had been left in the yard when he left the scene. I guess I don't regret it because it's like taking care of any rodent in town. Oh my gosh. So here's another word that people have to start thinking about. The head had been left in the yard. He doesn't care, doesn't regret it. This world is just becoming someplace I don't want to be. What is this? Is this more to the story? I'm checking it out. If it doesn't take too long. Well, okay, Minnesota police. Okay, here's where the news is. Minnesota police chief decapitates boy's pet chicken, complaint filed. I should say he should get the death penalty and get his head chopped off. Oh, look at this. He got the chicken as a birthday present. Update. Citizens rally to support Minnesota police chief who killed boy's pet chicken. Now, how is this little boy dealing with this? I had pets when I was a kid, and they were closer to me than my own family and friends. You know? You just, sometimes you can really bond with a pet when you're a kid. Killing her son, leaving the hen's decapitated head just feet from the backyard chicken coop. Ashley Turnbull said she knows. Oh no. Ashley Turnbull said she knows she violated the city's ordinance that prohibits fowl and acknowledges she was told August 7th by police to remove the 3 chickens and 2 ducks. So what about the other chickens and the ducks? Were they treated in the same manner? A lot of questions here. She said Police Chief Trevor Berger went too far when he came onto her property about a week later when nobody was home and clubbed, killed, and decapitated a small red hen with a shovel. This is absolutely satanic, psychopathic behavior. Is it true? Berger was simply enforcing the city ordinance that has been on the books since 1960 and was responding to a frustrated neighbor's repeated complaints, including a report on August 16th that one of Turnbull's chickens was running loose in the residential area near the elementary school. Oh my God, there's a chicken running around in the neighborhood. Oh my God, what are we going to do? I'm sorry it had to happen that way, said Berger, adding that he didn't intend to leave the severed chicken head in the yard to send a message to the homeowners. Oh, yes, he did. He left it in the yard. He left the head in the yard to send a message through the media on all these news channels about heads in yards and children and decapitation. Berger said he thought the head was still attached to the chicken when he carried the carcass away. Berger said killing the chicken was justified. Oh, the insanity. It's against city ordinance for a chicken to be in the city and running around in people's yards. Turnbull said Berger didn't handle the situation professionally. Do you just find this outrageous? I still feel he owes my son an apology. What good would an apology do? And he owes us a chicken. I want to move far, far away from this planet. So this isn't even right. He owes an apology and owes them another chicken. What about that individual chicken? That individual chicken can't be replaced with its own unique personality. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I see animals differently, maybe. She has not yet heard a response, but the issue is expected to be addressed Wednesday during the Atwater City Council meeting. Ironically, Berger said he intends to present a proposed ordinance to... Oh, now this is even crazier. To allow chickens in the city that the council had asked him to prepare this year. So this was an anger issue towards the council who were making him propose an ordinance to allow chickens. Oh my God, now what's this? Birthday, okay. The situation started this spring when Turnbull's 5-year-old son, Phoenix, was given baby chickens and ducks as a birthday gift. He takes care of them, said Turnbull. He plays with them. Turnbull said she wasn't aware at the time the city didn't allow poultry. In May, another Atwater's family who also had chickens asked the city council to change the ordinance. City clerk Goldie Smith said she was in the process of researching chicken ordinances when Turnbull's neighbor, Dick Ryerson, brought pictures of Turnbull's muddy poultry pen to the August city council meeting. Oh. Yeah, let's not have any life You know, a muddy poultry pen. That's where animals live. Smith said the council, you know, everything is so sanitized and people are so far removed from life. They want to kill life. Oh, I've talked long enough. Smith said the council decided at that point to inform Turnbull and other residents who had chickens to remove them. In an interview with the Res Central Tribune, Ryerson said he was concerned about having chickens in town living in filth like that and that he feared it would attract rats. Ryerson said the chickens were probably nice pets, but you have to keep it clean. He seemed surprised to learn that the police chief had killed one of the chickens. I'm not for mistreating animals, any animal, he said, but I'm not for killing a chicken for the sake of killing a chicken, which is what that police chief did. But Ryerson said the ordinance prohibiting livestock was put in place for a reason, and if killing the chicken was the only way for the police chief to address the problem, then I'd say he's doing his job. This is absolute psychosis. The world has gone mad. Loose chicken. Berger said when he got the call on August 16th, he saw the chicken in a yard next to Turnbull's house. He said he tried for 10 to 15 minutes to catch the chicken or chase it back into the pen. I feel like I made a good effort to get it back in. But when the other 2 chickens and 2 ducks in the fence pen started to get out, Berger said, oh, this is comical. Berger said he closed the door that he'd opened, grabbed a shovel leaning against Turnbull's garage, and dispatched the chicken. Since there were children playing in the adjacent yard, Berger said he didn't want to use his gun. That's overkill. To kill the chicken, and the shovel was the safest way to dispatch it. Dispatch. Get rid of it. When asked why it was necessary to kill the young chicken instead of letting it be, Berger said the family was not supposed to have them in the first place and that he wanted to give the aggrieved neighbor some results. This is how neighbors can call the police on you for nothing, and the SWAT team will come. So, and this is what this was like for just a tiny chicken and the police chief to come. This was equivalent to a SWAT team coming for some ridiculous reason to a person's house, and it's usually the wrong house anyway. It was the same process he would use if there was a report of a skunk. You mean he would chase a skunk and dispatch a skunk with a shovel also? I guess I don't regret it because it's like taking care of any rodent in town. And the police chief doesn't know the difference between a rodent and a pet chicken. I couldn't perceive a chicken being a threat to anybody. Turnbull's neighbor Jason Shouts, said he saw Berger walked up to the chicken by the coop, swing the shovel up and down. His young daughter was in the yard at the time and saw the officer kill the chicken. Berger said he left no note on the door, and although he intended to initiate contact with the family after killing the chicken, he did not. So they just come home and find their chicken smashed and decapitated. Shouts informed Turnbull and her fiancé, Chris Gordon, about what happened. Gordon said he called the police chief later that day. I said, so you come to our home and killed our chicken with our shovel? Said Gordon, retelling the conversation. He said, yep, any questions? That's the thing that makes me mad. The situation has been the talk of the town for a while, but Berger said most of the people think it's rather silly. It's not just silly, it's symbolic. When asked what was silly, he responded that there's such uproar about chicken. But you know, next, and it's kind of happening now, is children, dogs, older people, and it's just becoming pervasive. The violence, the unwarranted violence towards people from the police and from other people, those teenagers, 100 teenagers that just went wild in Memphis and started knocking down and beating people. The the um, the social barriers are coming down. There may be absolute chaos one of these days soon. Berger said that after advising city council members what had happened, he was instructed not to take immediate action regarding Turnbull's remaining poultry. Turnbull is upset with the police chief, but she also blames herself for not taking the city's initial warning seriously. She said she discounted the verbal warning in part because she never received anything in writing about removing the animals and because of the upcoming vote on the ordinance. She said it didn't make sense to move the animals to a farm for a couple of weeks with the possibility they could eventually be legal in town. Berger said he believes the other families who had poultry in town removed their animals after being instructed to do so. So this is not just about having animals. This is also about if you capture rainwater and you're not supposed to, they'll come after you. Atwater Mayor Mark Olson declined to comment for the story. He said both sides of the issue, which he called the chicken fiasco, which is close to chicken fricassee, would be discussed at the council meeting this Wednesday. Turnbull said she intends to be at that meeting and is still hoping the council agrees to adopt an ordinance so her son can keep his remaining chickens and ducks. Well, I would like to hear what the 5-year-old has to say about this. Really would. Well, okay, so it's not going back, so sorry that it's so long, but this is a ridiculous story, and, but it has an impact. Look at this. Police chief decapitates. That's what you need to look at. Decapitates. Thanks for watching. God bless all of you.